It's quite Sunday morning in Paris, October 19th, 2025. Tourists are lining up outside the Louvre, the world's most famous museum, home of the Mona Lisa and centuries of French history. Then, out of a sudden, a truck rolls up beside the building. It's got a mechanical cherry pickle lift attached to it. Two men, dressed like construction workers, climb into the lift, press a button, and slowly rise toward the museum's second floor. No one thinks much of it. It could be maintenance, or it could be a routine cleaning. But just a second later, the sound of shattering glass echoes through the courtyard. The men break into the Louvre Gallery d'Apollon, home to the museum's most valuable jewels. And within minutes, centuries of royal treasure vanish. In under 7 minutes, the thieves snatch diamonds, emeralds, crowns, and necklaces once worn by emperors and queens, and disappear into the street of Paris on motorbikes. No gunfire, no chase, no trace. Just like that, the most secure museum on earth is humiliated in front of the whole world. Today we're diving deep into the Paris Heist, the inside story of how a small group of criminals pulled off one of the boldest museum robberies in modern history, right under the nose of France's national pride. This is Denzel speaking, and welcome to the world of Intrigue. The timeline of the robbery is unbelievable as it is precise. According to French police and multiple reports from Reuters, ABC News, and Al Jazeera, the heist started around 9:30 a.m., right after the museum opened its doors. A white utility truck pulled up near the building. The vehicle was later found to be stolen, but at that time it looked perfectly normal. Two men in construction uniforms unloaded a cherry picker lift, the kind used for building repairs. The gallery they targeted, Gallery d'Apollon, isn't just any room. It's a long gold-trimmed corridor filled with massive mirrors, ceiling paintings, and glass cases holding royal jewels dating back to Napoleon. One of the most famous pieces, an emerald and diamond necklace Napoleon Bonaparte gave it to his wife, Mary Louise. Another, a diamond diadem that belonged to Empress Eugenie, a wife of Napoleon III. These weren't just valuables, they were French history itself. Inside the museum, the robbers used power tools, likely drills or diamond cutters, to break into the display cases. Security guards rushed to respond, but by this time they reached the gallery, the men were gone. Witnesses outside reported seeing two motorcycles speeding away carrying black bags. The whole thing, from entry to getaway, took less than 10 minutes. A theft so quick and surgical, experts say it looked more like special forces mission than a robbery. Pulling off something like this doesn't happen overnight. French investigators believe this operation was planned for months and maybe even longer. Let's think about what they needed. Detailed knowledge of the museum structure, access to a truck with a cherry picker lift, tools powerful enough to cut through reinforced grass, a perfect escape route in one of the most crowded cities in Europe. And here's what's even more impressive or terrifying depending on how you see it. The thieves knew exactly which window to use. According to French newspaper Le Monde and Reuters, the window they chose wasn't covered by a security camera that morning. It was a small blind spot in an otherwise fortress-like building. Is it some kind of coincidence? Investigators doubt it. They suspect the criminals had inside information, possibly from someone who worked at or with the museum. And remember, these weren't amateurs. They didn't go for paintings like the Mona Lisa, which are heavily alarmed and impossible to sell. They went for portable high-value objects, jewels that can be dismantled, melted, or resold on the black market. Experts told Al Jazeera the loot could be worth more than $100 million, but if melted down, it might fetch only a fraction. Still millions, but the historical damage is irreversible. Within hours, the French police launched what they called Operation Apollon. The Louvre shut its doors for 2 days as investigators combed the gallery for evidence. They found gloves, tools, and even a helmet left behind. And here's the key: traces of DNA were found inside. The DNA led police to two suspects. The first was arrested trying to board a flight to Mali. The second was caught at Charles de Gaulle Airport while attempting to leave France. But here's where it gets complicated. Neither man confessed, and both claimed they were set up, that someone else used their equipment or identity. Interpol quickly stepped in, adding the stolen pieces to its stolen works of art database, so that any attempt to sell or move the jewels internationally would raise a red flag. But let's be real, most stolen jewels like these never resurface intact. Experts told Reuters that the pieces are probably already disassembled or melted. The diamonds and emeralds sold separately across Europe, Dubai, or Asia. In other words, the history is gone forever. When people hear $100 million in jewels, it's easy to think about money. But to the French, this isn't about money, it's about identity. These treasures date back centuries, gifts from emperors, symbols of royal marriages, pieces that survived revolutions and wars. A French heritage minister said it best: when these jewels were stolen, a part of our history was stolen too. And that's why this heist hit a national nerve. The Louvre isn't just a museum, it's a culture temple. So when it gets robbed, it feels like an attack on France itself. So where were these people? So far, no group has claimed responsibility, but investigators believed it was a professional European art theft network, possibly connected to organized gangs that have hit museums in Germany and Italy before. Their style matches known groups that specialize in heritage crimes, robberies not for immediate resale, but from black market collectors willing to pay millions for invisible treasures. That would explain the clean execution, the silence afterward, and the lack of ransom or demands. The real mastermind may still be out there, rich, invisible, and holding into stolen history. After the robbery, the French government ordered a nationwide review of museum security. Even National Gallery was told to reassess its own system, window locks, and surveillance. Meanwhile, the Louvre reopened with tighter security and an empty glass case where the jewels once sparkled. Visitors still open and still stop to look. They stare at the space where the treasures used to be, and it's haunting because the emptiness tells its own story. The Paris Heist is a reminder that sometimes the biggest crimes do not happen in the dark, they happen in daylight, in plain view, by people who know exactly what they're doing. It's a story about planning, patience, and power, about how even the most sacred places can fall victim to human greed. And maybe, just maybe, it's not over, because some in France still believe the jewels are hidden somewhere in Paris, waiting to resurface decades from now in some secret collection. So what do you think? Would the Louvre's stolen jewels ever be found? Or are they gone forever, melted and lost to time? Let me know what you think in the comments, and stay tuned, because in our next episode, we will cross from Paris to Palestine, where another story of loss, courage, and survival unfolds. But this time, it's not about jewels, it's about people.